Okay, our next speaker is Doron, who's going to speak about ageism.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Isi. I'm from Israel. As you know, this is an international conference, and I'm the international. First, the reason I came over, I actually came from Chicago, is twofold. One is your lovely sun, which is amazing sun, an amazing temperature compared to Chicago, not compared to Israel. And the second reason I came over is because here in Winston-Salem, you have a queen. I'm not sure if you're aware of your queen, but I thought that I would like to open my presentation acknowledging your queen. The queen is Professor Kate Muhini, and she's the real reason I'm here. And she's the queen of elder law clinics. She doesn't like what I'm doing right now, but I thought it would be the best opportunity to thank you, Kate, Professor Muhini, for all your years of cooperation. She's one of the global leaders in the field of elder law and elder law clinics, and thank you for having me here, Kate. As you've seen from my title, I'm a law professor. However, this presentation is not going to be academic, no methodology, no empirical data, no numbers. It's going to be a political statement. Now, I know these days in America, you have to be very sensitive of being politically correct. I will not be politically correct because I'm an Israeli and I'm allowed to be that. So, as an Israeli politically incorrect, I would like to start this presentation with an exam. Let's see what Americans know about gerontology. My first question, who is this? Anyone? I'll give you a clue. It's a Greek mythological figure. Well, we have a very short time limit in this DeacTalks, so we'll have to move forward. This is actually one of the bad spirits in Greek mythology, which is called Gera. Gera is the bad spirit made by the goddess of night, Nyx, who is the opposite of the goddess of youth, Hebe. So Gera is the god of old age. Now, see how it looks. He's ugly, he's not nice, he's dark, he's like the night. He's the opposite of the beauty of youthness. So, I would like to generalize and I would like to try to argue, and you can check me out, that in Greek mythology or in Greek philosophy, the leading point of view was that old age was something that you did not want to relate to, because youth and beauty and womanhood and light, that was what you want to relate to. But old age was darkness, was weak, was ugly, and you don't want to relate to. Now I would like to move forward to my second question. Who is this? We are jumping almost 2,000 years. This is Professor Ilya Ilyich Mechnikov. Now, Mechnikov was a Russian Jewish biologist, a Nobel Prize recipient of the 1908 Nobel Prize for Medicine. His work was in immunology. However, he is best known for coining the term gerontology. And now you know where gerontology comes from. It's Gera, the Greek god of old age, and logi, knowledge. So he was the first one to coin my field and your field, gerontology. However, the reason he's famous is because he viewed old age as illness, and he dedicated his life how to cure old age, the disease of being old. So the fascinating thing is that 2,000 years later, science still conceived aging as something we need to fight again, to combat, because it's a pathology. It's not something normal. It's not something we have to look as part of our normal life, but it's something that is a sickness that we have to fight against. So finally, I hope that now you will know who's this one. This is one of you. It's an American, well-known American, one of the best well-known Americans in the field of gerontology. I had the honor to meet him in person. However, unfortunately, he died several years ago. His name is Professor Robert Neil Butler. He was the first head of the National Institute of Aging, and he was well known because he was the first scientist who presented the concept of ageism. So he was the one who, for the first time, made us realize that aging is not an illness, and aging is not ugly, but aging is a normal biological process. However, we as human beings socially construct old age the same way we used to construct sex, color, religion, and other isms. So he was the first one to open our eyes, so to speak, and to show us how ageism is a process of systematic stereotyping and discrimination against people just because they are old. Just as racism and sexism accomplish this for skin color and gender. So we suddenly realized that old age is not an illness, and old age is not ugly. We created that stigma, this image, and it's up to us to change it. So what happened since is a whole revolution. In the last 20 years, we've seen a whole shift in the paradigm in the science of gerontology. This is just one example in the field of economics. So from a social construction of the older people being a financial burden on economy, on being unproductive and unhelpful, so from this vicious circle of viewing older people as a burden, many societies around the world are starting to adopt a totally new perspective of active aging, successful aging, healthy aging, virtuous circle of viewing older people as actually a resource and not as a burden. And we see various wonderful new ads like this one. Do we see this woman as only wrinkled, or can we construct her also as wonderful? And we see a whole range of new initiatives. We are all members of the Raging Grannies. We are all members and doing some graffiti. I saw outside wonderful graffiti here from the grannies of Lisbon or Winston-Salem. We have boxing grannies in South Africa. And in Australia, we have seniors creating change. So we see this wonderful movement of active older people. However, at this stage, I want to disappoint you. We are all missing something. And we are missing something that is crucial. The reason I argue it is that in the last 10 years, I've been involved in the international movement for establishing a human rights convention for older persons. The only group, unlike women, unlike persons with disability, unlike children, unlike immigrants, that doesn't have an international human rights convention of its own is older people. Now, there are many excellent reasons why we need one: to cover gaps, to educate, to symbolically symbolize the importance of older people and their status, to make a change. But all the northern part of the world, US, Canada, Europe, they are all opposing it. They are opposing it because they argue there are no gaps, there is no discrimination, there are already too many human rights instruments, so there is no real need. And throughout this meeting on the international level, I saw that we cannot go beyond this very rational debate: is there a need, is there no need? And I reached the conclusion that what we are missing, we miss ideology. We miss an ideology which I call ageism. Ageism is the political ideology behind the social movement for social justice and human rights of older person. Ageism is the foundational basis for social activism in old age. It's a worldview, a comprehensive set of beliefs and values around the social construction of old age and the power relationships in society surrounding old age. So, what am I arguing? Reality will not change with regard to older persons without ideology, which is ageism. No social change was made without a social political power struggle. No difference was made without a sense of political identity. Without a self-political identity of you, of older people like myself, who proudly wear and identify themselves as we are proud old people. So what we are missing What we are missing today is not to be active, and I apologize to my previous presenter, not to be friendly, but to be activists and to believe in self-identifying ourselves as ageists. I hope we are not too late. Thank you very much.